Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lancer at Chaotic Neutral Games. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. It's been a weekend. Let's just stick with that. Yeah. I'm Simon, your DM for tonight, as we join Rodrigo, Ed, Sean, and Vic with their adventures at the edge of Lancer space. Don't forget, actually, no, I still haven't loaded up the channel points. But there are extra things you can do in chat. I'll talk about that after the titles. However, you can, as always, join the chaos by clicking the Discord link in the channel notes, or you can support what we do by becoming a subscriber. So the mechs are hurtling through the canopy towards Silver Ridge, where they can see a large metal head even above the canopy. The players have now joined the Battle of Silver Ridge. So let's delay no further and go into mission 4 of A Fast Farewell. And welcome back. As I say, the mechs are hurtling through the canopy towards Silver Ridge. They've been hearing gunfire, siege warfare being employed. There's pillars of smoke all around Silver Ridge, and yet still that large metal head, almost organic in its appearance. A strange bioorganic creature, almost, standing right in front of where they know the gates to Silver Ridge are. Also, this flickering light uplighting the figure, which you guys immediately recognize as a thermal lance. The Kestrels, piloted by our angels, shoot overhead. Scornfuse, Hermit, Douglas, Heterotic, Kate, all firing overhead, trying to get some idea on the situation. We're not starting with RP today, we're going straight into combat, such as the urgency. The people of Silver Ridge are counting on you, and there are consequences to failure. So let's get into it. Ed?
No pressure!
Let's have the tactical screen up, and I'm going to move you guys into the bridge.
Not anxious at all.
No, it's fine.
I'm good. This is fine.
Well, you guys take in the map, a simple map today. Simple map with some clear dangers as well. Whilst you're there looking that up, I'll talk to our angels. So, angels, there are a few extra commands in Nightbot. The one that doesn't work is salvage because I'm an idiot, but everything else is working. Douglas, you have exclamation point bunker buster. Heterotic, you have exclamation point het scan. That's HET scan. I will give you the spoiler. It's not going to be useful in this one, so don't use your special on that today. Hermit and Scornfuse, you have a single use of exclamation point drop the beat, which you already know. And also exclamation point data spike. I put a space in the Discord. It's all one word, obviously, for Nightbot. Hello, Stygian. If you're going to be joining us as an angel, the guys will give you the appropriate welcome, again, using Nightbot. And for Kate Madison, we've got exclamation point pop the hood. Those are angel player-specific, viewer-specific things. For everybody, including the viewers that I've mentioned, you have exclamation point reload and put the name after reload of who you want to use it on. Exclamation point coolant dump, and again with the name. Exclamation point skyhook, again with the name. And exclamation point power transfer. Now I'm going to be a bit of a dick. If you use these, it will use up your special action, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what each of them do. You guys have come into they will tell you that, the names are fairly descriptive, but the reason for this is that Battle of Silver Age, you only just had enough time to go up, have the module plugged into the back of your Kestrel and brought back down again. So the ones you know, the ones you don't, but I will use one as an example. So coolant dump is fairly self-explanatory. If I type in, for example, coolant dump red, because red's the one that needs it more than anybody else. It should come back saying, there we go, Chaotic Neutral Games flies by red's mech and dumps their coolant. Red's mech loses 2 heat. Here we go.
Considering that my overcharge is at 1d6 plus 4 right now, yeah, that could be useful.
Could be useful. So that's an example. So with reload, coolant dump, skyhook, and power transfer. I didn't have enough time to write in the command that tells you the commands, but I will put the rest in. I will put the rest in after this session. We can just play with it. If you need reminders of that, take a look at the Discord, which will give you everything. But as I say, salvage does not work currently because I'm an idiot and I put the first two. Thank you.
Expert chill.
Yeah. So the Kestrels have flown back up to the nest. The angels choosing retroactively which module they want plugged into their Kestrel. They literally go up and dock straight up to the side of the nest and immediately fall back down, re-entering Kadabos's atmosphere, or Kadabos 3's atmosphere. The heat shields glowing as they descend upon the battle below. At this point, because we're going straight into battle, I would like the players to tell me their sidekicks. Rodrigo, who are you taking?
I mean, for me, it's usually like whoever wants to sidekick with me, not the other way around.
Pick one. As they're coming down, there's an allocation menu going blip, 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 blip. Okay.
I'm gonna say Storm.
Rodrigo has Scorn today. Don't worry. Anyone who isn't partnered up still gets to act at the end of the turn. Sean, who are you taking, dude?
Yeah, I'm
glad we had similar reactions.
I guess Kate. Yeah, Kate.
Is Kate in chat? Yes, she is. Okay, she's in chat. Yep, that's fantastic. It's always useful to get somebody who's actually there.
I agree.
Kate's on Kate's HUD. The IFF suddenly got there's a kind of gold star, I guess, around Judge's mech as her Kestrel has been locked onto his position. Ed, who are you taking?
I'm taking my old chopper, Douglas.
Taking Douglas. Douglas, you have Ed, and finally, Vic, who are you going to take?
I'll go with Hermit.
Hermit? Okay, fantastic.
Hello.
Okay. Anybody else who is in chat, don't worry, as I say, you will still be able to go at the end of the round. So if you are not Scornfused Kate, Douglas, or Hermit, and you still want to be an angel, say now. And if anybody else comes in, obviously get them indoctrinated as well. You know the commands.
High octane administration.
Exactly.
That's role-playing games.
So, you guys are coming into the battle fast and furious. The initiative goes as usual: player character, then one of them, then player character. There's only 2 of them. 4 of you, which means that you get a lot of action advantage. Also, you get shenanigans from your Kestrel. So this should just be a finishing blow. But let's
Don't
describe the
say
scene
that.
first.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Don't
Yeah.
The finishing
pretend.
blow
Which
for the
one is-
first phase.
Yeah. By the
So-
way, my dinner still hasn't arrived. So if there's a loud klaxon, sorry, it's going to be my my doorbell. My doorbell's ridiculous.
Scares me every time.
Yeah. So you break through the shrub at the edge of the forest and into a finely manicured set of fields, deliberately terraformed as an example as to what could happen if people joined Union. These are fine and fertile fields that can be used to grow any number of crops. Well-drained soil, high organic content, nutritionally balanced for most crops to thrive. It's normally a sign of lush, wholesome countryside. And yet when you break into it, it is scarred and scored with hulks of vehicles and mechs that are smoking and burning, bleeding coolant and fuel and hydraulic fluid all over the place. A wasteland, tainting these fields, I'm sure, for years to come. You can see members of clearly the Crucible. We've never seen a Crucible uniform before, certainly not a military. But you know what the law enforcement look like, and these are not it. Strange reflex style armor, and the strangest thing being the helmet. The helmet doesn't appear to have any visor. That's not to say it's open. The helmet completely encloses the face. You can see that there's, at various points around the helmet, sensory arrays, posh versions of camera lenses, which presumably allow the operator to see. But other than that, the face is, in fact, the entire head is completely enclosed by this. They are running around, mostly forming marshal points behind the larger vehicles, presumably for a final push once the 2 remaining mechs open the doors to Silver Ridge. In amongst the groups of soldiers who look disturbingly uniform in this slightly dark grey purple laminate armor are robed figures that you do recognize. These are the monk-type robes of the Crucible, and you can see that they're quite clearly giving the orders. Each muster point has at least one of these robed figures, and they are speaking animatedly to the soldiers. And the soldiers are just there, these dehumanized humanoid forms looking at the robed figure. In a lot of cases, you can see that the turrets and mechs and other ordnance that Silver Ridge had at its disposal worked really well for it. They were ready for this type of siege situation. You can even see some aircraft that have been downed by Silver Ridge. However, disturbingly, the 2 major turrets, north and south of Silver Ridge, are now themselves smoking ruins. Whatever they managed to do, it took the last of its energy, and eventually the returning fire trashed the turrets themselves, which is why the 2 mechs have managed to get up to the gates completely unmolested. Rodrigo.
Is it okay if with y'all if I could take the first turn?
Could I
Go
take
for
a
it.
setup turn? Or
Oh.
do you want to get in before they move? Is that the important bit?
Yeah, I do want to get in before they
Go
do,
for it then.
yes.
Okay.
Go for it.
Ed, depending on what the setup move is going to be, I may allow it as something that you prepare and do as you break out of the canopy. What is it?
It was going to be Veil Rifle, Hide, Dive Under Bridge.
No, I want to love that.
Yep, thought that might be the case.
That's a first
Yep.
initiative.
Go for it, Raju.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You just hear Red say, Dude, I can't trust you to have my back. Is that correct?
Yeah, we got
By
you.
all means.
Well, all of
Good.
us? Alright.
Okay, so first things first, I am going to use the Everest core power as a protocol. So I'm powering up.
Yeah, you kept your core power just for this moment. Go
Yep.
for it.
So here's the thing. It lets me. It does a lot of things. For those who are not aware, it does a lot of things. But the most important thing is that it lets me boost as a free action. So my turn is gonna be using my movement, the free boost, and then a second boost to get into melee range, which I know I can because of the external batteries.
Yeah.
So you see, basically, as Red smashes the button to release the fucking limiters on this thing,
Yeah.
she takes the heavy charge blade, activates it, puts it on the ground, and then fucking supersonically just
Yeah.
leaps forward. Like
I'm getting neck Naruto run here. I mean, this is yeah.
She's not
yeah.
Naruto running. An important thing before I attack is that because she's dragging the fucking this big sword around, when she attacks the ultra or whatever it is,
Let's face it, we all know this is a fucking ultra.
I am going to take as many Crucible monks and soldiers in that one swing.
There's none next to it.
Yeah, on the way over.
Oh,
On
on the way over, you're stamping on them. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
stamping
so-
on it and running your blade across the floor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So first, just let me make sure that I got my boost.
Scormia on deck.
Yeah, so I'm just going to skirmish with the heavy charge blade. I get an accuracy, thank God, because of the power up.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 8 plus 1, 9 plus 3, 12 to hit.
12 to hit. Hits. You'd be pleased to know it doesn't have an evasion of 12.
Good to know.
Good to know. So the damage is going to be 1d6 plus 3. Well, that die, I'm gonna get it. Go
Oh.
get it later.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
fuck that die. Fuck that die.
So that's gonna be 1d6 plus 3 armor piercing. That's going to be 7 points of damage armor piercing.
Very cool. Yes, so the 7 points of damage bite in deep, and you expected a lot more from this mech.
Yep.
And
The first attack.
so did the mech. Yeah. You watch as this large mech has got 4 legs, but the top of the body is very much centaur-like in that it is very humanoid. You can even see outlines of muscles. It's like the Roman sergeant's breastplate with the abs. This has abs, and
More in detail.
so when the strike hits, you watch as this mech reacts like a human would. Other than the fact it's got 4 legs,
Yeah.
it stumbles and stomps around, and it was in the middle of the religious rhetoric that I gave last session, where they're saying, open up and you may be spared. It's very much got this evangelist, slightly honeyed tones, but with an air of menace to take this as inspirational or menacing, whichever one you want. And when you come in and kind of like, bitch, and you slash at this thing, the reaction of the mech is very human, more human than you've seen any mech ever react.
This isn't
That's-
right.
In itself should tell you things.
You know what? Fuck it. It's the last encounter of the game. Of not the game, but of this part. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, maybe
Jesus
not.
Christ.
It's suicidal, huh?
Don't take hermit literate. You know, don't
Yeah.
go suicidal.
No, I'm
yeah.
not gonna go suicidal, but I am going to overcharge. I'm going to take that risk.
Are
Sure.
you?
Take the
Do your D6.
+4 heat. Okay, so that's 8 heat, so I'm right at my heat cap.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Just took
And-
8 heat just to do an extra attack. Oh,
I'm going to
God.
do an extra skirmish with the heavy charge blade, which now hits Nuclear Cavalier.
Yeah, of course it hits nuclear cavalier. You just capped out, man.
Scorn, get on the coolant.
Scorm can do whatever Scorm wants, but you need coolant, that's for sure. By the way, anybody can use the coolant. Any of the angels can use the coolant on there. Scorm goes at the same time as Rodrigo, but anybody can use that. But it will use your one special action. So anything other than Angel Trigger and Angel Fire uses your special action. So don't forget about that.
Okay,
Other than
so-
random shenanigans, but you know.
So that's
You gotta
7
propose
plus
stuff.
1, 8 plus 4. I think that's gonna be 12 again.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, that hits. Funnily enough.
yeah. So that's going to be. Okay, so first 1d6 plus 3. So that's sadly just going to be 4 energy damage. But now an extra d6 from Nuclear Cavalier. So that's 6 extra energy damage.
My God.
10 energy damage, armor piercing. Oh, by the way, and I keep forgetting, it also takes 2 heat.
Yeah, that's up to 4
Just,
heat.
just by standing near you.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Scorn, what are you doing, my friend? I don't plan.
Neither do I.
We're in that kind of grove.
Skyhook red. Okay. So Scornfuse, as it says, and Nightbot's doing some of the storytelling for me. Mag grips appear at the bottom of Scornfuse's kestrel. It lands onto Red's back like a fucking jetpack. Red, place yourself anywhere you want on the map.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh, well,
Oh.
then.
Yeah, literally.
Oh. I mean, I have
Scornfuse
an
and Red
idea.
have just latched together and for one round become a combined mech. Guess-
So I
guess-
have an idea,
Megatron.
but I'm willing to take suggestions.
They did the fusion.
I mean, there's a suggestion for you.
I mean, I was going to say you can't get past the big mech to get to the little mech,
Ah,
but
fair.
Scorm has just given you the ability to, because you can fly for this one action.
I mean, I was
Chicken,
thinking of
why?
putting myself in front of the Big Mac, like in between the two. But I don't know what you guys think. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna ask for help on this one.
Yes.
Yeah,
do that.
definitely do the thing with Red.
Alright. There you go. There we go then.
Oh shit! Yeah. So
Also,
Scornfuse
Simon-
attaches to Red's mech. There's this huge plume of smoke. We're talking like fucking, proper like takeoff, because this tiny
moment.
little kestrel has to relocate this big ass mech. The exhaust coming out of the arse end of Scornfuse's mech is disgusting. It's like looking at a full-on rocket launch. And with this spiraling, you get jetpacked over the top of the mech into this position. And the large mech, which, as I say, reacts very humanly, actually stumbles back a bit as you just kind of superhero three-point landing in front of it. And then just detaching, transforming, and turning into an aircraft and shooting up into the air again is Scornfuse. Yeah.
10 damage. So that was more than 10 damage in one turn.
That was 17 points of damage in one turn that you did.
You guys-
you burnt
you guys
everything
get
to
the
do
floor.
it, but oh my god.
You
Fucking
guys,
Christ.
you guys get the floor now. I did my part.
Well, actually, one of mine gets the floor. And
Uh-oh.
out of the two, I'm going to go. I have tactic hubris here. I like to write down tactics that I have to follow unless otherwise.
Yeah.
Tactic hubris means that the where is it? The evangelist goes first. That's not the big one. That's the little one.
Okay.
Okay. So the little one is going to use its thermal lance, and it starts burning a section of the doors away. You can see that the right-hand door is now half cut down.
Okay.
This thermal lance is like a plasma cutter, and you can just see the doors themselves are on fire with this. Anything that isn't solid metal is now aflame. The doors themselves are glowing red hot, and you can see that this now that you're closer, this evangelist is a proper mech. It looks a lot like a Harrison Armory mech, whereas the other one in front of you is more organic. And you can see that other than this lance, which is like a breaking and entering tool, it seems to be covered head to toe with anti-personnel flamethrowers. Not exactly the kind of detain and arrest mech that you've seen. This is for widespread death.
My question. Through kind of red sensors, do we see the chassis of this smaller one heating up as it uses the thermal lance?
You don't see much at all because the large one is giving hard cover
Okay, fair
to
enough.
the small one.
That's fair.
Even with red in between them, this thing acts like a giant siege wall. Hence, one of the parts of the challenge here. Red has kind of found their way past that challenge. The other thing is that as this thing goes, even though it's firing the lance forward, it does fire 2 pulse lasers, and so I'm going to roll those to see if they hit you, Red.
Sure.
So the first one is a natural 1,
No, doesn't hit,
and the
thankfully.
second one is a 16.
Yeah, that hits.
Yep. Take 4 energy damage, obviously reduced by.
I'll take that.
Yep.
No armor, sadly, but yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
Cool. So that's the evangelist has gone. Actually, I should be doing that. Tick. Tick. Cool. One of you guys, go.
Okay, does anybody want to go? Because I have a thing.
Yeah, if you have a thing, go for it.
Okay. So I want to take a full action to boost twice.
You can do the same thing I did. You can power up and then boost with a quick action to boost twice.
See, that's what a smart person would do. So I will do that.
Plus, you can't boost twice normally, so yeah.
Oh, smart person again. So I'm gonna do that so that I boost as a free action.
Mhm.
So that is 10 hexes that will get me here.
Yep.
Oh shit. Buh, 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 buh. And I can't boost again, right?
So yeah, you get the free boost from powering up,
Yeah.
and then you can use another boost as a quick action.
Okay, so I will do that to get myself.
You can't get past the large robot.
Only I could because Scorm gave me a...
Son of a fuck.
Unless someone uses a skyhook on you, you can't join Red on
That's
that
fair.
side.
You know what? I'm gonna get right up in his face.
Honestly, considering what I'm doing, I think it's safer that you don't come here with me.
I was about to say, because there is a chance that Red is going to bomb out, literally. So
Yeah, I'm gonna just get up in his face, like right over here.
that's base-to-base contact, because the even though there's no graphic there, the hex in front of you is part of that mech.
So question.
Mhm.
While I am like in its face, is anything about it familiar to me specifically.
No. I'm safe to say, other than the fact that now you're close enough to it, anybody saying, "Oh, it's like a horse mech," you're like, "There's nothing like a fucking horse mech." Yes, it kind of has organic stylings, but it's nowhere near a horse mech. Horse mech.
Just like not exactly how it looks, but how it moves, more like.
It moves like it's got a really, really slick pilot to mech system.
Right. Okay. In that case, I still have quick action left.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna skirmish with the wall pike.
Yep, go for it.
Yep.
You get 2 accuracy because of the power up plus duelist 1. So you're gonna roll a d20 and then roll 2d6 and take the higher result of the d6s.
Oh, come on, man. That's a 17.
Just a 17?
I'm using Google Dice Roller Pro. That's probably why.
Okay, well, but 17 still hits most
Yeah.
things.
Well, yeah, but still, you
I was
know.
going to say.
You know, you didn't get a 20, but, 20s are rare. Yeah, so you hit. Roll for damage.
Oh, God damn it.
I think it's just 1d6 kinetic, I think.
Yes, that's true. Thank you for that.
The fun part is that it gets knocked back 1.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a 4.
Yep,
For
4
kinetic
points of damage. Yep. I mean, you two are carving into this thing. It's got a lot to carve into. I mean, you've done 21 points of damage between the two of you, and this thing's still standing. It's a bit messed up. It's not as pretty as it was when it first started, but it's, the damage is hitting. It seems to be a literal meat shield. Well, not a literal meat shield, a metal meat shield, in that you just carve away at it, and he's just there. He's laughing. He's carrying on with this rhetoric, with this whole kind of, behold your saviors, your false saviors. Do they touch me? Do I panic? Do I flee?
I want
Not
to say
at
he's
all.
sweating because I dealt a lot of damage, at least.
Oh, he doesn't seem to. He doesn't seem to care, and he's
Yeah, that's the point.
he's there saying your false saviors will not help you here. The only truth is from the crucible. The only way forward is from the crucible. Let go of these false idols. Let go
Wait.
of this stupid dream of union. Look what stands. Look at what perseveres. We are supposed to be the barbarians here. And at that point, Hermit comes in, transforms mid-air, coming down on a full 2-legged strike to the side of the head.
So it says he's arrived, but we haven't had anything on the doorbell, and there has been there's nothing out there.
Then contact them. So, sorry about that. So
Everything
yes,
okay in the dinner side of things?
Corinne was doing an annoyed little dance in the corner. I had to find out what it was. Sorry about that. But yes, at that point, Hermit's mech comes down, coming down as fast as a aircraft can do, transforms, and both feet at the same time smashes this 4-legged giant mech in the head.
Oh, fuck.
Ordinarily, Hermit, I would get you to roll for something like this. Unfortunately, due to something that's here, you bounce off this thing's head. What you have done with your action is found out that this thing is immune to prone or push.
Oh.
Why did I have to decide not to take the hacker talent? That would have been really useful right about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling similar in terms of like switching combined arms for skirmisher.
Oh well,
Yeah.
we can do it.
So Hermit's giving you some intel. There's no such thing as a wasted action as long as you're not repeating the same thing. Hermit's shown you that this thing cannot be pushed or prone. It's why I chose a four-legged model, just to reiterate that. This
Yeah, that's
thing
fair.
is meant to be an unmovable wall. So, that was your turn, Vic.
Yep.
Next up is this guy himself. So, first of all, Red,
Hello.
the figure looks down and says, I see you, little girl. I see right through you. And you are being attacked. Your systems are being attacked.
Motherfucker!
It automatically passes,
Knew it.
and there's a +3 difficulty to attack the evangelist now.
What
you
in
attack-
the fucking Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm cool with that.
So the Bernie mech that you've managed to get to, the Truthbringer, which is the large one. Large one's the Truthbringer, small one's the Evangelist. The Truthbringer looks down and effectively changes it so that if you try targeting the Evangelist at all, that target changes to the Truthbringer.
Okay, I'm fine with
Okay.
that. I'm fine with that.
So that's its first action. Its second action and is going to be to attempt to smash Iona's mech, Avalon, with this giant fist. The body, even though it's got 4 legs, it can spin around at the waist, and it does this kind of Rock'em Sock'em Robots thing of spinning around and smashing Avalon in the side with the fist. I would like you. God, he's impatient, isn't he? She's on her way, dude. Fuck off. No, don't fuck off. Give me my food.
Put the food down and do the other bit.
I want Vic to do a hull save for me, please.
Oh fuck. Hold on.
You get an accuracy because you powered up. Remember.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bless you. All right.
Turns out that the Everest core power is really good.
Yeah,
Oh,
for the
yeah,
fun.
Yeah, it's one of the things I love about Lancer is that the starting chassis that you get given, you can take that chassis right to the end of the game if you want to. You can have the best Everest ever and just keep upgrading its weapons and extra systems.
And with
you
the
don't
new
have to leave.
Sagamantha frame
Yeah,
as well.
size.
The
Mhm.
size
Oh.
too.
Yeah.
It's just a thicker Everest. I love it.
So,
Yeah,
what's
that
your
was
result?
16 on my end.
16. Okay. This robot spins around ridiculously fast, like a fucking gyro. The fist smashes into the side of Avalon in such a way. Thank you. In such a way that you guys hear the impact and you all wince. Avalon, however, is built to be like a Knight Templar. Yeah, you can see that the way that it's been built with this full plate armor is formidable. They just strike with the warpike, but when the fist comes along, the warpike gets pulled back, and Iona presents like this pauldron, this giant pauldron on one side of Avalon, and it goes wham!
Oh,
The point where
that's
we're
fucking cool.
We're talking like 300 decibels of metal on metal.
Oh
Avalon
my God.
screeches across, not so much that they move out of their hex, but Avalon screeches across the bridge, their feet gouging into the bridge itself. If you hadn't passed that, Vic, you would have taken 5 points of explosive damage. You would have been
Fucking shit.
punted into the river and made prone.
Oof.
Fun.
Yeah, and fun things happen when you get in the moat. So Avalon has just shown itself to be this full metal knight.
Oh my God, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, well done. Pulling out the stops here. Lance is not a game that you go easy on.
Woo!
Also love you, fucking heterotic, pointing down at the moat, lot of free coolant down there. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, so that is that is the Crucible this turn. We've got Ed and Sean that have just got free reign now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what order.
What are you doing, guys?
Do you have an
Very
idea?
impatiently. Go on, you can go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's go, goggles.
pretty simple. Pretty simple. Charge forward, and I'm going to deploy my cover.
Let's
Sure.
fucking go!
So we've got a little bit to hide behind. Actually, I'm going to
Yep.
put them in a different order because
I like to think they pop out like the cassettes pop out of Shockwave. You know, just.
Oh hell yeah.
they're kind of
Yeah.
on my back, so I swing them round, and they kind of and then slam to the
Hey.
ground.
Shockwave best Decepticon, by the way. Don't at me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Blaster just didn't do it for me. Yeah, it's like you're a shit cassette. What can I say? Anyway,
Do I haven't measured something properly. Bollocks. Never
Uh-oh.
mind. I'm going to start hacking. I'm gonna like back to this thing and start hacking this big one. Let's get some tech attack actions and see how well that goes.
I already gave it 2 heat, by the way, just FYI.
you gave it 4 heat. You hit it twice.
Oh no, yeah, no, but the only the second one counts
Oh,
because
because you only went nuclear the second time.
it's
Thank
nuclear
you for your
Cavalier, yeah.
honesty. There we go. Okay, I'm less anxious about this now. Right.
doesn't mean. But remember, I'm probably gonna hit it again.
So it's just a D20 plus 1 for my tech roll. Nope. Probably not a 4.
This thing hasn't got very complex defense systems. Apparently, what it has for its user interface and its ridiculous amount of armor and redundant systems, which means it's staying up. You are really ashamed of yourself that you end up flubbing the code. This wasn't the fact that it was good code, it was just that you flubbed it. When you look back over your code, you're like, oh shit. There's several typos and things like that. You're just too in the moment for it.
Yeah.
It runs on MS-DOS.
Yep.
So
So
you still have an action, right?
no, it's quick action to deploy my cover. Quick
Oh,
action.
okay,
Quick
okay.
attack.
Yep.
That's me done. Douglas, do what you want.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah. It's confused. I'm completely with you. As much as I enjoyed the movies, I'm a purist when it
Excuse
comes
me?
to that, I'm afraid.
Excuse me. You like the what?
Hey,
Don't worry. I love that.
you gotta take what you get when it comes to these things. The fact they got it past the bloody board and onto the screen is enough.
Listen, when I was younger, I loved the first 2007 Transformers. So whatever. I can't judge.
Okay, Douglas, Bunker Buster. Okay,
Yes.
so who do you want to be ground zero on this? It can be the Evangelist, the Truthbringer, or it can be the Red.
I think it was aimed just north here. At least the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 10 points of structure taken off that bridge. This is a formidable bridge. It was made for vehicles and mechs and things like that. It's taken a lot to it. The Truthbringer, with its ridiculous routing system, doesn't do anything, but I will do a hull save for the Evangelist.
That
So
Truthbringer is also in Blast 1 of that point. So
it is.
Yeah.
It does get some damage. Yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely gets some
good
damage.
stuff. Good stuff.
Whew, thank you,
Just make sure
Douglas.
Scrabble for all the damage we plant.
Yep, so 5 points of damage on the Truthbringer, which we'll get to in a minute. That's... Let me just check. Yep, that's a failure. That's a failure for a Kestrel save. So this one here falls on its ass, prone. Let's put a little.
Good stuff.
Douglas, you've just done damage to the Truthbringer, and the Evangelist has just fallen on its ass.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you,
Now,
Douglas.
considering all of this is about don't interrupt the Evangelist, the Evangelist cuts through, and it has like a cumulative effect if it keeps the thermal lance on the doors. It hasn't got the lance on the doors. In fact, the lance is pointing in the air right now, and it's just like this fucking plasma laser light waving around instead. You've just bought, not knowing that you were doing it, I presume, you've just bought Silver Ridge some time. In fact,
Yes.
2 extra turns worth of time.
Oh my god.
Time to get it
You're starting
worked.
to get the challenge here. Yeah. So unfortunately, that was Douglas's only bunker buster. But the other thing that's happened, because of all the ridiculous damage you other fuckers have done, is that Douglas just got rid of a structure point from
Yes!
the Ultra.
So what?
So-
you gotta roll the d6 now?
I pre-rolled. I pre-rolled.
Okay. Alright, alright.
I kind of wrote the effect and pre-rolled the effect.
Yeah. That's
So
fair.
let's read this out. The Truthbringer stumbles around as if drunk, and a scream emits from the head of the Truthbringer, throwing back this metal-hooded, as I say, priest-like entity, and a strange metallic and sinuous scream fills the air. Apparently, when certain systems in this mech are destroyed, the feedback goes straight into the pilot. The pilot
Good.
itself,
What in the Neon Genesis Evangelion?
the pilot is hotwired into the mech in such a way that the two are inseparable. To give you an idea with this, it's like if you've ever played Shadowrun, it's like a rigger going hot onto its drone or vehicle. The vehicle takes damage, that goes straight into that guy's brain. So this is hot cybernetics. Some of these guys probably use cybernetics to connect with their mechs, but this is hot and completely no barrier between the two. Presumably this is a way of showing one's faith.
Okay.
Terrifying.
At which point the Truthbringer screams, "Mother, help me."
Uh-oh.
So, and Mother, you can almost hear the capital letter
Mother.
when this
M.
happens.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that was Ed and Douglas.
Judge, you're up.
Go, Judge.
Oh, it doesn't have another activation. Oh, that's something better.
Yeah. Definitely nicer than something you would have done.
He doesn't in the first round, no.
Jesus Christ.
That's the asterisk. There
That's
we go.
more like it.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I wanted it, but I thought it was a bit powerful, so I thought, okay, in the first round, I'll give you guys a round grace because a good first round will set the scene. Yeah. He was evangelizing using the second action. Now he's not.
Fair enough.
I also did it that when he loses a structure point, he goes mental. So there's a bunch of things just activated. So it's nice.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
This game's good. I don't know
Judge
if you guys
and Kate.
noticed, but this game's good.
I love this game. The things you can put in here, and the rule book just says, "Oh, you want to spice it up? Throw this in. How about this? Do you want this in? Okay." Cool.
Yeah. Anyways, Judge.
Alright, I'm gonna hit the
Oh,
block.
fucking.
And then I'm also gonna use the core power,
Yep.
which gives me a free boost. Am I on the right thingy? Right. What's my speed again? I should know this.
4. Everyone's speed is
5.
4, if I remember
5.
correctly.
5.
Oh yeah, because agility. My bad.
Yeah.
Two,
If you have agility, it does.
Alright, before I
The
move,
mistake I made with Balor, by the way.
before
I'm a
I
frontline fighter that's only got 4 movement. Well, I'm fucked, aren't I?
do the edges of the bridge on the hexes count as movable terrain?
They do, apart from either side of the large mech.
Excellent. Okay, 3. I'm gonna move here with my free boost. 1, 2, 3, 5. I'm gonna do my actual move.
Yep, you can go there.
Then I'm gonna do quick action boost. And hang on, I had this planned out, and I think I've already messed it up.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah,
No, you can't go past the mech.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna plan. Come on.
The only way you'll be able to get past is if Kate uses the Skyhook ability.
All right.
Once again, as I started getting an idea of what kind of Nightbot commands are going to be out there, I was like, okay, if I'm going to put that in, I've got to find attrition ways for them to use it and then lose the chance to do other things. So I'm having to game the game. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to ask for a call here. So if I hang on, where's the draw? Whatever. There we go. So if I move to, well, first of all, important information before I ask this question. I have the jump jet system, which means my boosts count as flight.
Oh shit!
I also had that, but I thought
In that case, forget what I
go
just
around
said.
it.
Then forget what I just said.
So hang on.
Flying cowboy, what can I
if I go to
say?
here, ping it.
Bro.
Baby.
And then move 1 back for 5. Then I stand there.
Bro, you just gave me an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Then wow. I am over here now.
Yeah. You're right next to this thing. Yeah.
Not exactly where I was planning on being, but I got this here
Helps.
charge blade, and we'll see how that goes. With my last thing as a skirmish.
In the background, you hear, "You're meant to be the bloody sniper. I put these things up for you."
Yeah. You're like, here you go. Where the fuck are you going?
Yeah, like if Red wasn't dead set on bringing this giant thing down, she'll be like, "Bro, what the fuck?"
I must admit, there's part of me that's going, you're not supposed to
Oh,
be
wait.
doing that, Judge. You're messing with my mojo here.
I got my accuracy. Oh, all the difference. The 14.
14, yeah. You're hitting the Big Mac, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
hits the
think I
Big
can
Mac,
hit the
yeah.
other one,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
I think it can.
But you know what? I'm doing this, so it's fine.
I think you can hit the evangelist. I think. I don't know. Simon
I've
is-
said I'm doing this, so I'm going to do that.
Alright.
But
You'd
I
have to be
appreciate you.
one more down into the
One
left.
more down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Energy damage with the charge blade for 6.
Fuck. Is that is Charge Blade armor piercing as well?
I think it is.
I don't think mine is. Oh no, it is. I take that back. I should have
Yeah,
believed
okay, cool.
Rodrigo.
Good to ask. He might have armor, he might not have armor, but I need to know when it's armor piercing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I tried to standardize that, so Kate needs to be doing what she's doing,
Oh, yeah.
and I was going to say, and then it's everybody else's turn. Heterotic is already locked on and fired. Which one are you hitting, Het? And Kate, you can either attack using the Angel Fire, or you can use a special. The specials are in the Discord, so that's Reload, Coolant Dump. Prince taking my phone. I had all my notes for those on there. What was it? It was Reload, Coolant Dump, Skyhook, and
Salvage?
Power Transfer. Oh yes.
Salvage is the one
Yes,
we don't
red
talk
did
about.
need cooling down. So if you want to cool down red,
please.
just do exclamation point coolant dump, then space red, and you'll be able to get red to not be as blowy uppy as we expected.
I'm at 8. Literally one more heat, and I will take a stress. So yes, thank you.
Hadn't
This
forgotten you
is-
had for the large one. You pepper it with the spiker cannons. The 3 kinetic damage all go through, which tells you something. This large fucker ain't got no armor. It just has hit points. So
It's a big slab of meaty hit points. Yeah.
yeah. 5 heat you've had taken off you. Good result
Whoa.
from
Roll.
Kate. So Kate
Nice
uses
one,
their
Kate.
only special action
1,
this
2, 3,
this session
4, 5.
to bring Red back down into
That's
the not
actually
glowy
not
uppy
that
phase.
great because I'm out of the danger zone now.
Everyone's a
No,
crit.
you asked for
Everyone.
this though.
I did. Okay, you know what? I'll take not being in the danger zone to being 1 heat away from a stress. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with this. I can
Yeah,
put
God.
myself back. I can put myself back. It's fine.
Now
It's
say
fine.
thank you.
It's like,
Thank
surely
you. Thank you, Kate. Thank you.
You say thank you. She did that for you. Okay, so unless there's any other angels, and I don't think there is, I think Het was the only one that wasn't sidekicked. We are back round to the top. One of you guys is going to act, and if you don't, these guys are. What are you doing?
Do you guys want me to take it, or do you guys have anything else? I took the first round, so I'm willing to take the.
Before you
take a
do,
break. Yeah.
So since we can fly,
I mean, if you have
Well,
the
I can't
the
fly. I
jump
have the-
system.
yeah, I do. I do. I thank you, Sean, for that.
All
Oh,
right.
you've got jump jets as well.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, I
okay,
think.
yes. Well, in that case, this is you're well set up for this attack.
I'll just hide over
I
here in
am.
the shower.
So in that case,
Love you, Goggles.
I will. I would like to boost and like get from here and then to here, so it's like 6 hexes, so it counts as a boost, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember, you can boost. Your first boost is free because you powered up. So you still have your 2 quick acts.
Still.
Yeah,
You still have your entire
yeah.
turn.
It's for the whole
Oh, never
thing.
mind. Okay, so I just, you know, I'm just here.
You guys have
So
been keeping your power ups for a reason, so hey, go for it.
yeah,
The
That was fun.
entire
Yeah.
journey here, I've been so tempted to use the power up, but I knew we were gonna need it for today.
yeah, I'm gonna barrage the big motherfucker with the spear,
Spear
Go-
and
go for
it's 2 weapons. It's 2 weapon mounts.
and the charge blade.
Yeah.
Charge blades are good.
Yeah.
Turns out they're
so-
pretty neato.
You've kind of cracked the tactic here, in that the Truthbringer is trying to leave the Evangelist to do its work. You guys were like, fucking nope, and
Nope.
you by
Nope.
various means have jetpacked in between the two of them, going, we know what you're fucking up to. However, you are trying to take down the big guy first, so go for it.
Yep. So do I still have the accuracy or no? No, I don't.
Yes, no, you do. For the rest of the
Oh.
scene, you got an
rest
accuracy
of
to
the scene.
everything.
The
Yeah.
rest, oh my
All of that
God,
power up is
bless.
That's why the Everest is really good.
Yeah,
Bless.
Storm.
That's
I
all
don't
I
need
have
to
to
imagine
say.
it, Storm. That's how I'm feeling right now. I was like, there we go. Only people who can fly go past.
Oh my
They'll all have
God.
to use the skyhooks.
That is a 25.
25 crit. Go for it. Remember, for a crit, if it's static damage, it's just the same. The crit doesn't do anything extra unless it triggers anything. If it's to do with dice, you roll twice that number of dice and pick the higher result.
Wait. Hold on. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Basically, you roll damage with advantage if you have to roll for it.
Right. It's 2 weapons with 2 different damages.
Yeah, so like which one critted? Because it's 2 separate attacks.
The pike. The pike.
Okay, so for the pike, you're gonna roll damage twice and pick the highest result.
Yeah, that's a 6.
All right. Max
6 damage. Good start.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, the second one.
If the second
No.
one didn't crit, then it's just normal damage.
Yeah, regular damage. Yeah.
Yeah. That's 10.
10 hits, but it's not a crit.
Okay.
Okay. So it's just it's 1d3 plus 3. That's a 6 as well.
Ooh.
And it's energy, and it is, I believe,
Yeah, armor piercing. It's
it's armor piercing.
Right. So even though this thing has clearly got redundant systems, between you all, you're cutting up this huge barricade like burger meat.
Good.
And with all the damage that gets done here, you can hear the screaming And at this point, the guy inside the Truthbringer, clearly talking to the evangelist, says, "Get through! Burn them all! Burn them all!" And the evangelist starts to get up. Now, Hermit has asked for a gambit. Covering fire strafe to
Gamble.
give Iona another action. This is a very, very, very hard
Gamble.
thing to do. So I'm going to give you the gambit, Hermit. You need 20 plus for this to happen, but I will allow it to. I will allow a roll. Give me. This is going to be, even though it's an attack. Give me an angel trigger, because this is deception. This is misdirection. You're going to be flying straight into the Truthbringer's face.
Aw, 7.
Sorry, man.
That was a great idea.
You play,
It was
you
a
win,
good
you
gamble,
lose.
though. It
Yeah,
was a good
gamble.
it was a good gambit.
Excellent.
It was a good gambit, and yeah, sometimes you got to have high risk, high rewards, rather than everything just being rolling for 10. And yeah, you're there. You're pelting him with the spiker cannons in his face, not doing any significant damage. This was supposed to be redirection damage. It is actually like covering fire. But yeah, if you got a 20, I would have allowed Iona to have another go with one of their weapons, which would have been disgusting. That basically was going to be a free overcharge. Yeah, that I was going to give. But sometimes, as I say, I try to go for yes and, but sometimes I have to say, okay, yes
Yeah,
and,
that's
but.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but always risk. Yeah, who dares wins. So, it's my turn.
It's your turn.
It is.
I need to roll some
Hey,
recharge
how about
dice. Yeah.
Fun, 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 fun.
That was a 2.
Everyone
That
gets
doesn't
a turn.
recharge.
This is fun.
That was a 6
I like
that
this.
does recharge. Okay.
Great.
So, oof. Fuck. Yeah. Truthbringer's going to attempt to. Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. So first of all, Red, your attacks are still at 3 diff against the Evangelist. Truthbringer's
okay.
fine, but it's
That's okay.
it's protecting the Evangelist. All targets are being scrambled
Okay.
for that one target. It's going to try Power Knuckle Iona again. And what it's going to do is attempt to basically grab Iona's head and throw you into the water. Yeah. So give me a hull save, please.
Oh, please don't fuck me.
You get an accuracy because of the power up.
You've
Before,
done a
thank
lot of
God.
damage. If you get this, it's
before you roll,
Fuck.
Yeah. Wait. Before you roll.
Before you
Before you
roll?
roll.
Okay.
Goggles.
my sympathetic precognition, my computer's been going wild in the background. And that's why I failed the hack. Not because of my bad code. It's limited processing power. You can, if you want,
I have the beard to
choose
stroke.
to take a 10 instead of rolling.
Shit.
Have you already rolled?
I have.
Okay, in that case, never
It
mind.
can't
But it was
happen now.
better than a 10.
You have to
Your
go with the
honesty.
roll if you've rolled. Sorry.
That's
It-
perfectly fair.
Thank you for
It's
your
a habit
honesty.
we need to get into.
But it's better than
Do
a
it a
10.
lot.
It's better than 10. Cool, we're alright. We're good. We're good.
Oh, if it's better than 10. Yeah, sure.
Hey, we did it.
What was it?
17.
17. This gigantic fist comes down, and you can see that it's trying to grab you and throw you into this water. You know that this water, you would be slowed. No flight is allowed. You would have to wade out of the water to rejoin the fight. This side of the river, it's worse. There's what? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hexes to get back to the shore. Being thrown into the water could literally take one of you guys out of the fight without killing you for a long period of time. As it comes down, the hand comes down to grab hold of you, and like putting a spear in the jaws of a crocodile, the warpipe comes up, and you can hear the metal creaking as this hand is trying to close. You hold the thumb and forefinger thumb and middle finger together with this fucking war pike. The war pike itself is starting to flex, and this is super hardened steel with a high density carbon core. And even you're there going, fuck, he's going to break my weapon at this stage. You twist the weapon round, whoosh, and the hand just... and you can see that he's used all the energy that he would have used to grip you, crush you slightly, and throw you, and has missed his opportunity. The capacitors in his arm need to charge back up again before he can try that again.
Not today.
Well done.
I am going next.
Again, some of these are high risk,
Yeah.
high gain for me as well.
I want to go next.
That was the Truthbringer. Vic has already gone, as has Hermit. Hermit's had 2 strikeouts, unfortunately. Sorry. And next up is one of you guys.
I want to go next.
Go for it.
You hear Red say, "Big mistake, buddy. Big fucking mistake." I'm going to barrage.
Okay.
With the heavy charge blade. Next round. Sorry about that. I'm gonna with the segment knives and the heavy charge blade.
Yep.
Okay. So first, the first segment knife attack. I'm not in danger zone anymore. So yeah.
Yep.
That's 8 to hit.
8 does hit. It's a big creature. It's literally hitting the side of a barn.
Okay,
With
cool.
a bad use of literally again. Sorry. It is like hitting the side of a barn.
I get a heat because of overkill, but I get to roll damage again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 3 points of energy damage, not armor piercing.
Okay. Good to know.
I'm back at the danger zone.
Hey.
Yeah, that's the part that's dangerous for me. The danger zone isn't for you, it's for me.
Yeah, now second attack with the segment knife.
Yep.
Actually, can I? No, I think that's cheating. I'm gonna make the attack with the segment knife. That's 11 to hit. I haven't been adding accuracy. My bad. I forgot about it.
Sure. You hit.
Yeah. So 11 hit. Okay, so that's going to be 3. So that's gonna be oh yeah. Sorry. The second attack cannot deal bonus damage. My bad. But I imagine the heavy charge blade, but the heavy charge blade attack can. So I'm gonna save it for that. Is that okay?
Sure.
Actually, first range or melee attack roll you make on your turn while in the danger zone deals energy instead of kinetic, and additionally deals 1. Okay, I'm not gonna count it. The heavy charge blade won't deal bonus damage. I'm not gonna cheat.
Right. Sure.
Okay. And
much
then
damage?
and then third attack with accuracy.
How much damage with the second attack?
It was 4 damage, 4 energy damage.
4 energy
Plus 2
damage.
heat.
Okay.
Now, third attack with the heavy charge blade. That's a 19 plus 5.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Fuck him up.
Let's see how this goes.
Alright, this one doesn't have overkill, thank god. So, okay, so that's gonna be 6 right away, so that's gonna be 9 points of energy damage. Armor piercing.
I've described a lot of the cool shit. It's your turn. How does this fucker go down?
Okay, so first of all, I slash the legs with the segment knives, right?
Sure.
So it stumbles forward.
Yeah.
And the last thing it hears, I'm going to patch into this guy's communications.
Yeah, easy enough. He's kept open comms.
So the last thing he hears is Red saying in a very low hiss, "May there be a hell for you, a Tartarus, bleak, unending," and I'm gonna drive the heavy charge blade into the cockpit.
Oh my fucking god!
Ooh. Okay. There's actually a thing for this. So I would like you to roll me. This is a pilot kill, which is going to be important for the Crucible game.
Yeah.
So ordinarily, it would take you rolling a crit. Now, when I ask you to roll, it would get you to crit to literally find the guy and kill him. But you came off the back of a crit, so you just need a success. Roll me a
So I still-
straight attack roll, this time without accuracy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
fair.
No accuracies can be applied. Just roll me a straight attack roll.
19.
19? A 10 would have done it. As you're giving this rhetoric to him, you can hear that he is screaming almost incoherent zealot babble at you. And you can actually hear the moment when your blade enters his cockpit. This guy probably doesn't die by being cut. It's actually the charged blade itself is redunculously hot. It's energy damage that either electrocutes / burns him to death. He's on comms the entire time, and his screaming goes out across the network, the local network. I would like a trigger, actually. And I'll get you
I
to do
have
it.
threatened. I have threatened.
The threaten trigger is exactly what I want here. You don't know why, because reasons.
I'm gonna roll.
I want that from you.
So it's whatever I roll plus 2 plus 1. 11 plus 1, 12 plus 2, 13.
Okay. Good to know. Combat isn't just combat in this game, it has story ramifications. And
fair.
what you just did probably had some as well.
And
The
that's
evangel.
so that,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, go on.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
will-
what's the rest of your turn?
I'm gonna use the initiative reaction to do another skirmish into the evangelist.
Yeah, sure. It's still.
Do I still got the 3 difficulty?
Yes,
Like
you
I
do.
thought-
Yeah, you do, because it
never mind then.
takes
I'll
a
leave
while
it
for
there.
the stuff to come off. Yeah, okay. So
never mind.
this large mech. Oh no, that's the wrong one.
I'm not dead.
That's
Yes.
it. I'm not dead. I'm not yet dead yet. I feel happy. So yeah, the large mech slumps down. The head run through by one of Red's blades. Something is dripping, not blood, but it's a kind of a ruddy brown
Is it
substance just dripping from the chin of this robed metal creature. And so, yeah, the evangelist now goes. So the evangelist gets up. It's going to move to here. Does that trigger anything from you, Red?
What did it did?
It moved, and presumably out of your range, because it skirted around Iona.
Let me see. What's my okay? So all of my melee weapons are 2 threats. So, yeah, I think it moved. Yeah. It moved at least 1 space in my threat range. So yeah, I get an Overwatch.
Okay, give me a shot. And
I'm gonna use a
Stormfuse,
heavy
you're on
check.
deck.
But I get 3 difficulty. Whatever. If I hit, I hit. It's
Yeah.
2 difficulty because I get the accuracy from power up.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even with 3d6, you only keep the highest. So you know,
yeah.
we've all rolled 3d6 before and got 2, 2, 3. So yeah.
It's 10 minus 6, 4 plus 1. Yeah, 5.
5. Not enough for the evangelist, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So yeah, the
I-
evangelist manages to dance out the way. This powerful thermal lance shoots through all 3 of you in this direction. Let me show to others.
I already used my reaction, so I cannot brace.
Going through
Fuck.
all of you.
Motherfucker.
Oh.
So I need to attack each of you in turn. So this is d20 plus 1 and 1 accuracy. So let's grab those dice, shall we? And then after this, we will go to break.
Oh god, Eddie!
Uh-huh. So that is 14 to hit Iona.
That's gonna hit.
Okay. take 4 heat and 6 energy damage.
Fuck my ass. Yeah,
The-
I'm in the danger zone, fellas.
So 20 to hit red.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
Take-
that will hit.
Take 4 heat and 6 energy damage.
Or heat, 6 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm still okay. I'm still within the heat, my heat cap. Invest in engineering, kids.
Only 6 to hit Judge.
Oh, I believe I'm fine.
Yep. In that case, the beam, as the beam cuts through 2 of the mechs, nasty. You can see, there's dripping metal from this cutting beam. You just about duck out of the way in time. I forgot to read Scums. In mech modes, takes out my wrench and blowtorch as I jump onto the enemy's thermal lance, trying to damage and loosen it as much as possible. Good day, sir, madam. We have a special offer, reverse repair today, and it's free at no additional purchase.
Can we say?
Okay.
have a
It's
suggestion.
confused. This is a gambit. On a 20, the thermal lance breaks.
Oh boy, that's
Angel
okay. That's
trigger.
better than I thought it was gonna suggest.
Oh my
Would
god.
that have happened before the attack?
It would have happened before the attack because
Yeah.
that's when Scumfuse wrote it. 19. Oh, so close, so close. that would have really fucked that guy up.
Kane,
'Cause he
stop
has
ringing
other
even.
weapons, but that's his best one. That's the first one. Oh god. So let's see. Okay, right, so I need to write a secret symbol on Vic. How do I do that?
I don't like that.
Illuminati.
Secret symbol. Secret symbol. I forgot about that. Okay, yep. So I did do the description because it was in my notes, but then I forgot to write the symbol. Has Het hasn't used their ability yet. Okay.
No, they haven't.
Het using the Skyhook on Scumfuse doesn't really do anything because Scumfuse jets away because you guys all have plot armor. So I'm gonna count that Skyhook as not being used. So Het, you still have your special.
You guys
but
can't
but
die,
I will
but
say
we
that
can.
you could kind of help Scumfuse get up back into the air again, but you still have your special Het. So 2 extra shots go out from the Evangelist. Pulse lasers. These are... no, that one didn't have accuracy, so that goes away. And these are line 8 attacks. 2 lasers out of the shoulders. This thing is just a cutting machine, but it uses energy. So that is 12 to hit Iona.
Yep.
4 energy damage.
Okay.
18 to hit Red.
Hits.
4 energy damage.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
And Judge has the luck of the Irish today. 6.
afraid
Again,
not.
this beam comes through, cuts your 2 friends. You're like, nope.
Sideways. I turn, I pivot. I don't know what this is about.
And then it's going to do that again because it has 2 attacks on those pulse lasers, and you've formed a nice line for it. 17 on Iona for energy
Jesus.
damage.
I suggest you brace, by the way. If you haven't used your reaction, I suggest you brace.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
3 on Red. This time.
Oh, thank God! I was at 1 HP.
This time you're kind of like, what the fuck? And you bend underneath. Again, 6. What is it with 6 on Judge, man? 4 on the
That's
dice.
where Orlando Ballet.
3
So-
sixes. on Judge.
Yes, like a graceful cowboy ballet. Colt ducks under the beams, like he's auditioning for entrapment. Old film.
I want to
isn't it?
think that the devil
Um,
went down to George's playing inside Judge's outfit right now.
I'm gonna line dance out of these beam
Hit you
weapons.
with my golden fiddle, boy.
All I got. Sean and Rodrigo has gone. Sean and Ed, you've got this evangelist that seems to have a nasty weapons array. It doesn't seem to have any of the guts of the larger mech, but it does have an impressive weapons array. It's all damage and no armor. What are you going to do, boys?
There we go.
Okay. I am going to hit the big red button in my cockpit and activate my core system. Bam. Perhaps slightly disappointed that I didn't get to do it on the big thing, but
Yeah. I need to do a core power animation. We've got to feel the burn graphic, which I'm sure
been
has been
using
employed quite a bit.
got a little bit.
So, what are you doing? Dude?
I'm going to do a quick measurement. I'm going to charge to there, which is... I can select a move. No, I'm not. I'm not going to charge to that. I'm going to charge to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There.
Sure.
I'm going to Veil Rifle. There is an angle there that I can catch both of these. I measured it, and I think it might actually be one this way.
Yeah, I'll go for that. I mean, in narrative terms, you go to the place where the angle works. That's
Yes.
fine.
So yes, I'm going to use my free action, my initiative. Once per scene, Everest may take any quick actions or free action to do that, to give them both soft cover.
Yep.
So, Veil Rifle.
Okay.
Shimmering energy on both of them. I'm then going to take a full tech action.
Ooh.
I'm going to lock on and invade.
Ooh.
Give me an invade attack.
Yes, let's hope it rolls. I get, luckily,
Douglas on deck.
You get the accuracy thanks
an
to
accuracy for
how-
this.
Oh, yeah.
So with any luck, 21.
Hey!
There
Let's
we
go.
Your invade goes ahead. That's what, 2 heats?
That's 2 heat, and hit the success thing. I'm using my Shrike code until the end of the target's next turn.
Oh my god.
They first take 2 heat whenever they attack.
Huh.
And it happens
Okay.
before the
I
attack,
love Shriko.
just in case.
I fucking love Shriko.
Pretty rad.
And otherwise, lock on accuracy to hit them.
Nice. Okay,
And then
so
I'm going to take my free boost. Jump back on.
You jump out, you point at it, and then you come back.
There you
Ed's
go,
practicing
use
for
some of that
when
after
he's
all.
playing with the full Duskwing, because the Duskwing is small and needs to hide a lot. If it successfully does that, however, it can work really well. But it's not good out in the open. Okay, that was Ed. Douglas, you're going to try and knock the speaker into the river. So that's the evangelist that you're talking about, yeah? It is right next to the edge, and we haven't had a gambit specifically trying to knock this one into the river. Again, it'll be angel trigger on a 20 because it has such a profound effect. So go for it, and we'll see what happens. It's 15. As you come up, it ducks down. You don't get the angle on it, and unfortunately, high stakes being played here by the angels as they are zipping around. Just this flock of these Kestrel mechs transforming and then jetting away as they're trying different things. Mostly it's a misdirection campaign, but you're all there just trying to get that one lucky shot that will turn the tide of battle, especially considering you've seen what this evangelist can do to other mechs. No wonder these two particular mechs managed to get as far as they did. You have a feeling that the Truthbringer was basically just a wall allowing the evangelist to get close and be able to deliver its devastating payload. However, we'll just do Sean's turn, and then after that we're going to go into a break. So, Sean and Kate, what are you doing?
Okay.
We will do Het before we go as well, because that will finish the round.
Okay, I'm gonna move down with a quick move. Like, oh hey, now I'm in front of you, and that's weird. How about this? And then I'm gonna pull out my revolver. I'm gonna try and shoot a guy with a shot.
Go for it.
With gunslinger and the injector, double accuracy.
3 accuracy.
Three accuracy, like I
if you're
said.
consuming the lock on.
Yep.
Hmm.
You want to consume that lock on.
Yeah, on your HUD,
HUD.
there's these targets that have been painted all over the
One.
evangelist by goggles.
19.
19 definitely hits. Go for damage.
What is the damage on my pistol? No, my hand cannon. Duh. 1d6. I think I'd know how this works by now. Blap. That's a 3 kinetic. That is no longer loaded.
Is it armor piercing?
It's not. Nope.
Okay. There's an almighty boom as you hit it with this revolver. The evangelist does go back, but you notice where the other one just had sheer structure, this one's actually got some armor. Not as much of that went through as you wanted.
I dislike this idea. I might do something else next time, but right now, I'm gonna use this other gun. I pull out the pistol with the other hand, and I'm gonna shoot that one too.
Sure.
This is 2 accuracy now, right?
Yes. Yes, it is, because
Oh,
you
no,
don't have the lock.
I don't get gunslinger. That's the first one. It's just one. It's just one. I don't get. The
Oh,
lock.
1 accuracy this time. Okay.
So I need to keep one. Ha! Easy maths. With the crit. though.
Yo!
What can I do it the other way around?
Do the crit. Do it.
Hang on. Attack. Con. Go away. Sometimes you're not helpful. It's just 3 plus whatever bonus damage is. I don't know. 3. It's just max damage.
Yep. Okay. Once again, this doesn't do as much damage as you thought. Seems to be the Crucible's Gambit. The big meat shield was a meat shield, but this guy's got armor. You're going to need armor piercing to get through this thing. And suddenly your rifle is looking very, very loose.
Yeah. Slamming the guns away. I'm like, all right, I got something for this too. And I'm just ready, waiting for next time.
Cool. Kate, you can use one of your abilities, or you can use Angel Fire, or suggest a gambit. You can't repeat a gambit that somebody else has tried. Basically, the enemy gets wise to it. That's why it's a gambit. You just get one shot. Heterotic, what are you doing as well? Let's get you both done, and then I get to eat food.
Yeah.
I don't think he's fired the rifle yet, so...
No.
but yes, saving the exclamation point reload judge will definitely help. Oh, Het is going to cool Red down. Nice.
Thank you.
Red's gonna have her own freaking coolant squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's coolant dump. Three heat. Yeah. Het flies past, and with this beautiful cascade, this kind of curtain of mist, liquid nitrogen just douses your increasingly glowing mech.
I'm still in the danger zone, thankfully. I like to think that plus the power up, there's just like white flames like shooting out of the Everest boosters right now, like constantly.
Yeah. There's this huge miasma as it hits you. Again, working with liquid nitrogen daily like I do, it hits anything at room temperature, it goes crazy. Going on you, it just explodes off the back of you as the heat gets reduced. So last up is Kate, if she's around.
Thank you, Heterotic. I am genuinely terrified of losing reactor stress, not gonna lie.
Stop building heat using things then.
No, it's fun!
This is Rodrigo. This is the person who uses Constitution as a dump stat in D&D. Don't expect anything other than, you know, Gambit is my fucking co-pilot, you know, thing.
Also, like, being real, if I had gone with my original plan to go with the regular Tokugawa, this would have been worse because I would have been taking the exposed status as well.
Oh fuck.
So, Kate, you try to pop the hood on the Evangelist, knowing it's got armor. You try to pop the hood to do this.
Speaking of which,
The GM must reveal 2 hidden items on the map. Since when was that in Pop the Hood? Anyway, but unfortunately, the E defense of the Evangelist is 8, not 6. So unfortunately, it doesn't hit.
Motherfucker.
So your special module, as you fire this Sapper, which is basically like a magnetic dart that literally latches onto the mech and then tries to hack its systems. Its systems are just way too complex. The Evangelist holding itself like a pit fighter. It looks like it isn't over yet. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and when we come back, let's see if we can get this guy either in the drink or dead. See you then. And welcome back. When we left off, the what is known as Kadebos Vanguard. I don't think I've ever said what your party's name is.
Oh, sick!
There's only ever a description with an indicator. You're the only people. You're the only Iron Wall on Kadebos, so your designation is Kadebos Vanguard.
I like that actually.
So,
Yes.
obviously, your name will change depending on what mission you're on, what assignment you're on. I mean, let's face it, you got enough names between your name, your call sign, and your mech's name. You got
I
enough.
say that after this, we should probably stick to Kadebos Vanguard. Like, just add
Today's-
like at
As in,
the beginning.
the only
that's
one that's ever been,
Yeah.
because we had to
Kadebos.
run away.
The Kadebos Vanguard, yeah.
The Kadebos Vanguard attacked a pair of mechs who had a very clear tactic, apparently. One of them trying to get into Silver Ridge to annihilate them, and the other one just to be a backstop. You guys took the bait to a certain extent, the double bluff, and took out the big guy. Even though you scooted to the other side, it was clear that you didn't want to deal with the Truthbringer, which was this large organometallic, I guess is how I describe it,
Ooh.
cultist, albeit with 4 legs, giving it a strong base. You carved the crap out of this thing, even though it had 25 hit points, a structure point, and a final throws hit point. So once you get it down to 0, it has final throws that you have to go through, but then it dies at the end of the round. So you even got through its final throws, so it died there in that attack. It didn't get its last hurrah. Yeah. Even with all that, you carved this thing up like crazy, but then found the double bluff, the evangelist, the thermal lance and pulse laser wielding dervish that it was protecting, actually has armor as well. You're in the middle of doing some damage to it, but the armor's getting in the way. Kate has tried to pop the hood. Some of the other angels has tried various gambits, tried to push it into the water. No dice. Nothing happening. That gambit can't be used again by an angel. Now the evangelist is looking for angels trying to push it into the water. So let's say the players can't do it if they have abilities, then. We'll see what happens. When we left off, we had finished off the round. So we're back to the top of the round. One person gets to act before the evangelist does.
I don't want to take the spotlight, but do you want me to deal with it since I have like armor-piercing weapons, or do you want to go first, Ed?
There's no point me going before it.
Okay. All right.
The only other person I can see who might have something is Iona that has knockback.
That's true. Vic, do you want to take this one, or should I go first?
If you're speaking,
Uh-oh.
you're muted.
It seems Vic is having internet issues.
In that case, let's go with our resident lightsaber samurai whirling dervish psychopath, Red.
Bunga bunga. Anyways, yeah, I am going to barrage. First of all, next round. There we go.
Yep.
So I can hit it from there, thanks to external batteries.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yay.
Welcome back. So yeah, before I haven't done anything, thankfully. And you have
Okay.
echo.
Oh fuck. Hold on. Hello?
Hello.
Yep, that's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's better. I haven't done anything, so I want to ask: do you want to take this first and try knocking it into the water, or do you want me to go first?
You know what? I was gonna do the charge blade because it's armor piercing, but I like your plan better.
I mean, the war pike does have knockback 1. Might as well use it.
Yes, I know. I keep forgetting. Yeah, I'm gonna Lance of Longinus this bitch.
If you want to, you can do it as a barrage. That way, if you don't knock it into the water, you can still
You
hit
follow
it
up with a
charge.
blade. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna barrage with the war pike.
So
Okay.
war pike, charge blade.
Give me a roll for the war
Uh,
pipe.
You got an accuracy. You got an accuracy. Remember?
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
actually, you get 2 accuracy because of Duelist 1. I always forget.
Fuck
Yes,
my
that's
ass.
true. Yeah. You guys have really kind of benefited from the heavy melee. Remember, I did all of these encounters before I even saw the builds of your things. I haven't meted against you guys at all. So just watching you unravel these encounters has been a delight.
So I get 2 accuracy dice, right?
Yeah,
You
that
do.
means 2d6,
I've-
and you take the highest result.
I scared.
I've somehow managed to get a total of 8.
Let me check.
So it's d20 plus 1 plus the highest accuracy result.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It happens.
Oh god!
However,
Oh God.
yeah, it still happens. Says here. Evasion
Beep, beep,
8. Evasion 8.
Oh boy!
Oh my God.
Yeah. Again, I wrote all of these sections beforehand, so my prep is literally just print out these sheets. Which again, once I finish the campaign, I will be giving up to the community.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so lovely.
And, you know, if anybody wants to try
Oh,
through with their
gosh.
mechs, they can do so. So yes, evasion 8, you hit.
Knockback 1 I mean, rolled for damage regardless, but knock 1 still happens, like, no matter what. So go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's 1d6. That's a 1. So I just kind of like nudge it.
Sure. You push it into the water. Sploosh.
But-
How much damage was that? Because you clicked
1.
Ah,
with a 1, and that wasn't armor piercing. No damage goes through, but you literally just put the warpike up against its armor and go like a lever. You just leave it, and it does that slow pivoting backwards. I would normally say that you can see the pilot's look as his thing goes back, but the pilot has that same full face helmet that completely encapsulates the head. And with that, sploosh, it's in the water.
Sure is.
Sure is.
Fuck. I'm gonna throw my war pike at it.
You can't do that.
Oh
yeah,
wait,
you already attacked
right, I
once with it.
fucking
Unless you overcharge, you can't use the same weapon again.
right.
You
Okay,
can
so
use your once a scene free action to skirmish again and throw the war pike.
right,
I
because like
only
the
use
charge
this.
blade is not gonna.
Yeah, remember that free actions ignore the whole can't do repeat actions.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, so I'm gonna skirmish again.
okay.
Okay, using your free action.
Yep.
So you're going to throw the warpike into the water. Go for it.
Well, add the guy in the water, but
Oh yeah,
yes.
yeah. At the guy in the water.
Yeah.
I give up this life of fighting.
That's a 22.
That's a
damn.
crit. Yeah, roll twice. Take the higher result.
That's a 5.
5. Yeah, apparently being on its back underwater is enough to do some damage to it.
Oh, it's like a turtle.
Yeah, as it turns
Aw.
turtle on you, you just slam and it's sticking in something and there's some fluid coming out. You think you've hit something bad, but it's kicked up a load of silt. It's a bit hard to see.
By the way, I did read on this. Picking up the war pike again is a free action, but you have to move over.
Oh, thank God.
But you have to go into the water to do it.
You still have a quick action, by the way, because you you didn't go through the second part of the barrage, so that could be skirmish, free skirmish, and then you get 1 additional quick action.
Hermit, you're on deck. You still have your ability.
Shit.
But,
What do I want to do?
Strafing into the mech's head is not going to help because it's underwater now, Hermit. So I'll give you some time to think whilst we figure out what Vic wants to do.
Your
Am I
option.
able to retrieve my spear? Just like hand, like stick out my hand and then like wait for it to like come back to it like a magnet.
It's no, you have to move over it. What I will allow is if you want to try and hang off the edge of the bridge and pull it back that way, I will allow you a gambit. But it is a and here's the results. On a crit, you get the war pike back. On a success, you don't get the war pike back, but you don't fall into the water. On a failure, you fall into the water.
I'm not a gambling man.
You can leave it at that if you want.
Yeah,
Because
you
the
can
other
just,
option-
you can just leave
Yeah,
it.
I think that's my turn.
Well, actually, I would recommend just use lock on.
Yeah,
Because
quick
it's
tech lock on.
always worthwhile. Yeah.
It also
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yep.
lock onto the motherfucker. I
Yep.
forget. I forget. I can't do that when I'm
Lock-on
not
is really
playing a hacker character.
Ooh, Hermit wants to again try another gambit. Hermit has the ability Skyhook, but you aren't kitted out for underwater. But I'll still allow it if you take pretty much a similar deal to Iona. Here's your deal, Hermit. On the crit, you do as you say. You dive down like a metal gannet, pick up the mech, pull it out of the water long enough for Iona to get the thing back. That's on a crit. On a success, you fail. On a failure, you end up in the water. You crash into the water, and you have to bug out, and you're out for the rest of the session.
Oh fuck!
Ooh, that's bad.
Ow.
Are you going to take the gambit? If you do, Angel trigger. Yeah. See, this is why we like Hermit. This is why we like Hermit.
Gamble.
Let's go.
Ah!
15, you miss it, but before your engines can flood with water, you rip onto that afterburner, and you've decided that you can't do that. So again, with gambits, win, lose, or draw, you can't do them a second time. But all respect to you. All respect to you. That was glorious. Okay, so that was Vic and Hermit. It's now this guy's turn. None of his weapons can work underwater. Well, they can work underwater, but they can't work through the water. The thermal lance, for one thing, cannot operate at all in the water. The lasers kind of can, but I'm going to say that they can't. He can't get an angle at you from this because he's just sunk down, easily size 2's worth. So what he's going to do is the only thing he can do, and he's going to move 2 squares. He's slowed and has a speed of 4, so he's moving 2 squares. He's wading out to the edge. That was the evangelist's turn. We now have Ed, Sean, Rodrigo. If there's anything that you would like to do.
Do you want to go, Sean, since I'm not really good at ranged?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got one thing, Mondo. It's ranged. Okay, let me update ComCon.
You've actually got a bead on this, Judge. Because you stuck yourself on the side, it was dangerous to be at the edge of the bridge. But you've still got a bead on this guy.
Yeah, I know what I'm about. Okay, I'm gonna start by steadying my aim, which immobilizes me. It gives me another accuracy.
Absolutely.
Put that on.
And the anti-material rifle is accurate, so you get another accuracy on top of that.
Ding. And I've got my core power, so I guess whatever. Let's try and hit a person in a river. 1d20 plus grit plus that Q1. That's pretty good. 25.
Hey!
That's the crit. That's the crit.
Yeah.
This is an armor-piercing rifle as well, so we're expecting great things. Roll me some damage.
Down a little. I warned you about this one, but now you're down there and you're fucked up. 2d6.
So what's gonna be for like 46k too?
Oh yeah, because it's a crit.
Yeah.
All right, ignore that one. We'll go again. It was 8, but let's hope it's better than that. 11's better than that. 11 armor piercing kinetic damage.
That's kinetic as well, isn't it?
Yep.
Shit. So
Unload that boy.
the evangelist has resistance to energy damage, but it's not energy damage. It has armor 2, but this is armor piercing. You draw the bead, and this is very much, this is, you know, kind of, I was going to go with a high noon, but this isn't high noon. High noon is spamming the trigger. You're just there, and you're just pulling, you can just see the camera looking at Judge down the length of the rifle as he's there. He's like, yeah, and pulls the trigger, and you just watch this fucking thing go off underwater. The water suddenly bubbles up, steam like a geyser, as this thing completely detonates underwater.
Whoops.
Which means the 3d6 damage that I would have done to all of you if this thing blew gets negated because it's in the water. Well, it wouldn't have been to Ed, because Ed is common sense doing ranged attacks.
Well,
I did
doing
that.
nothing this battle, but yeah.
You set up a plan. Everybody went off and went a bit crazy, but yeah.
And it somehow worked.
Them's the breaks. So yeah, you have nobody to interrogate, by the way.
Yeah, sadly.
And so now we go into the RP.
Okay.
The heavily damaged gates on tracks and engines get pulled back, groaning and squeaking in complaint as they inch back. As an aperture appears between the two gates, a small figure stands there. You know that because they're standing there, they must have positioned themselves close to the gates throughout the battle. This small, certainly compared to your mechs, indomitable figure in a brightly coloured sari, her ambassadorial sash from one shoulder down to her hip, tied off with an elegant knot. The two doors open and you can see this gimlet stare of pure will come from Serena Harlan, looking directly at the Truthbringer, which is now just this hunched hulk behind the melee characters. She steps out, taps a few things on her wrist, and over the comm she says, "Is this your idea of being fashionably late?"
We have had.
There were issues on the way.
I make it a policy of never criticizing the cavalry. Cavalry you are. Take your personal effects out of your mechs, download your cores, and then set your mechs at equal distance along the bridge and set them to self-destruct. You're not going to need those anymore. And she turns on her heel and walks back inside Silver Ridge.
Early Scorn, I'm gonna need a hand carrying the computer off this mech because I'm not fucking blowing that up.
A pair of Kestrels fly down, these F-16 style fighters, but with more space, come in for the land, and as they do so, they neatly transform in midair, running to match the speed to the terrain. And sure enough, they start unpacking this huge fucking rucksack off Goggles. You have a feeling that you might need to apply a little bit of
Ed,
what's that rule where microprocessors go down by get smaller by time?
Oh,
Keep
Moore's
forgetting
law.
it. Moore's law, that's it, Moore's law. Yeah, so you need to apply a bit of Moore's law to this thing. This thing's gigantic.
I have a question to Ed for Ed. How's the cable management looking on this thing?
Gladys is
I
a
I
software
can guarantee
person.
better than the server in my fucking lab, I can tell you. My God, it honestly looks like somebody was on acid doing that one. Yeah, anyway.
But yeah, Gladys is, while that's happening, climbing out with a small stack of CDs, physical media. A few of them have books, few of them have music. Yeah, that's her personal effects, basically.
Red pops open the cockpit, takes a deep breath, and just says, "You did well, kid. You did well."
Yeah,
Before popping
your
out,
mech
before
answers
coming.
you by pinking as metal does when it's cooling rapidly. This ping, 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 pong.
Yeah, expect nothing less.
You,
I
you
get
do
a-
watch
I
as
get-
Red carefully gets out of the mech to stop third-degree burns.
Yeah,
Okay.
Iona's just going to take take the notebook and the pen and just sort of stash it in like, I want to say it's a club, but it's more like a very, it's like their cape but bigger, so they kind of have a hood and like maybe extra pockets in there. Just don't worry about it.
Good.
They stash it.
Nice, nice. You take out your
And
personal effects.
they jump out the cockpit and give their mech a bow.
Nice. You set your mechs up along the length of the ridge. These backbone of the Union standard infantry chassis that can be adapted in so many different ways. And following orders to the T, with some level of excitement, you set each of the reactors to go critical. And as the doors close behind you, there's a sudden set of explosions and a heat flare that comes over the wall in a devastating, satisfying fashion. Parts of the bridge fly up into the air, and you can see splashes as you literally burn your bridges behind you. Around you, cheering, coming forward, giving you slaps on the back, trying to shake your hand, are the people of Silver Ridge. You've managed to go forward with this battle with such, well, I was about to say professionalism, but downright violence. That they didn't even manage to get part way through the wall or even do any of the spoil sport actions that I had here that they were going to do of the whole kind of fine, we'll both lose then. The people come forward, but they are shepherded slightly further away by Murray Cross, the old balding guy that you met, I think, in session 0.
Yeah.
And Governor Harmon herself. She stands tall. Quite a feat considering she's about 4'3". And she strides forward with purpose. And once she doubles back and shoos people away and says, please, you'll have your chance. We all have things to do, don't we? And at that point, people scatter, starting to take down buildings and start putting together the Cosmos ship again, which makes up the majority of the settlement of Silver Ridge. It's mostly done. They've clearly been working throughout the siege to put this thing together. Everybody is busy now, but some people look at you kind of pointedly. And Serena turns around and says, those mechs served you well, but it's time we had a little more of a personal touch, shouldn't we? She presses a button and a hologram comes up out of her comlink, showing that the data packet from Union has indeed been arrived and decoded. And as she does that, your comlinks light up and says, congratulations, pilot. We have managed to clear you for license level 2. Your application has been successful. At which point, smiling, Serena gives the nod to a bunch of engineers who flip a bunch of switches and 4 silos, printing silos, open up and 4 very different figures start to appear from the floor. Rodrigo, please describe the first mech that comes up out of Silo 1.
It's giant. It's taller than the Everest. This is for mechanical purposes. This is a size 2 mech. It's lanky. Like, despite its size, it's like, if you could describe something mechanical as malnourished, this will probably look like it.
Yeah.
It's tall, lanky. The arms are like disproportionately long. They're like a little too longer than they should be. Tubes connecting parts from the reactor to the manipulators, the hands,
Yeah.
and into the boosters. And the head is like a glass. I want to say it's glass. Like a glass dome that shows. Run away, Vic. There's sorry. And it's a terrifying visage.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you think of like something looking terrifying in a mech, you think of this. This is a Harrison Armory Enkidu.
Yeah. The Enkidu has a predatory quality to it. As you say, it's lithe, and it's longer than it is tall. So it has this kind of hunched, almost ready to pounce look at all times. As you say, the tubes that go from the reactor directly to its hands are surrounded by inductor coils, because this thing projects pure plasma to the fingertips. And we're going to see more about what the Enkidu can do in the coming battles. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. Go ahead.
What comes out of Silo 2, Sean?
This one, same size as the good old Colt, who's no longer with us. The shoulders are a bit wider on this one. It has a flat top head. For those who have the book, I'm going with a pretty traditional rally. Except this one, as well as its wider shoulders, long, almost dust cloak. This one's strapped all over with revolvers. This is going hard on handguns this time. It's mostly like a almost rusted red, and then there's some like newer looking parts that are like a deeper blue, more of a cobalt. Although the rust is all artificial because this is brand spanking new thing.
Printed rust. Yeah.
It's like when you buy jeans and they're like pre-distressed.
Yep.
It's like, I've got a pre-distressed mech. It's fine. Kids are doing it these days.
Controlled rust is a good way to stop actual rust from happening, because you've got a complete patina there, so yeah.
Right.
Okay. So far we've got a Predator and a Gunslinger. Not surprising coming out of Silo 3. Iona, Vic, what do we see?
Well, you see first a face with a visor on, sort of obscuring part of it, much like a knight's helmet. And then as the figure sort of emerges taller and taller, it's still a size 1, but it is wearing the sort of tabard that like tapers into a cape in the back. It's like this deep cobalt color. The figure is holding another war pike. This one looks sharper, and similarly cobalt with sort of, there's like a ribbon tied around it where the handle would be for better grip. Mm-hmm. And what you see as essentially is the same concept as Iona, and you To people who have been out in the stars, it is a familiar sight because it is the same mech that the Albatross use. It is a Nelson.
Nelson, a peerless melee fighter, and yeah, very much a knightly figure there, almost a kind of paladin sight, coming back from what is now ancient history, and finally coming out of Silo 4 after these quite behemoth and aggressive-looking mechs.
I like to
Ed.
imagine the camera has been at head height for these mechs, has moved sideways, and when my silos open, there is nothing there. Camera tilts down, there's this tiny, almost person-sized, it's like an exosuit, basically, but with 6 arms and a flight unit on the back. Gladys kind of looks at it. I thought it was going to be bigger, I'll be honest. I don't know how I'm going to fit the computer on that.
Oh my god!
Right, well, let's get to work. It is a Duskwing.
Elegance personified. This very light mech uses guile and subterfuge on the battlefield. It is a thinking person's mech and a very good tactician. Normally very well suited to helping the big boys that can't move out of the way or move along unnoticed to have a little bit more dexterity and guile on the field. I'm going to say that the Duskwing that you applied for does have a miniaturized computer that you can upload your software into, because I think a whacking great big backpack with this giant computer on the back would ruin the aesthetic of the Duskwing. So I'm going to say you pre-prepared for that.
Gladys is not one for aesthetics, though. I like the idea of it being this huge, bulky, like dodgy,
Sure,
like just kind of screwed on.
A Duskwing with an Uber Eats backpack it is.
Yeah, it's basically an exosuit designed by Apple with this super non-elegant mess of wires and cables just strapped to the back.
Yeah, Gladys
Sure.
kind of steps into it, and to the camera, it shimmers and disappears.
Ooh.
Yep. Duskwing does do that a lot. Disappears a lot. So, it's like a Porsche with an 8-track player.
Exactly.
Absolutely, Christy.
Exactly.
Absolutely. A bunch of other engineers come out and start signaling for the Castrals to land. And the Angels pilot their Castrals down to the floor, transforming first into their light mech form. And people come forward with charging cables and afterburner fuel and all the things to get it so that you guys don't have to go all the way back up into orbit to get yourselves battle ready again. Excuse me. Try not to sneeze.
That's it.
So Serena says, so tell me, what did you find on your travels here?
We found quite a lot, I'll be honest.
Very unnerving discoveries have been made.
You don't happen to manufacture any energy drinks on this planet, do you?
She looks at you as if you're making a joke and goes, realizes that you're not making a joke and goes, no.
Nah, I
Good.
thought not. Well,
we
we've got some,
have our own coffee plants on the ship.
we've got some interesting things we'd like to share. Also, do you happen to have any kind of data on the makeup of the ground and stuff? Because there seems to be something in it, and we can't quite figure out what it was, at least not while we were there. Hang on. Where's the button? Oh, no. because it's basically a suit. She goes reaching for buttons and the mech moves for the buttons. Like, oh no, it's neural, isn't it? Okay. Hologram of the graphs of the active large organic molecule that we found last set.
I love the fact that you've got this state-of-the-art EEG that can read your intentions, and you're still doing the whole kind of.
Just give me a keyboard and a trackball. It's much more convenient, I'll be honest.
It literally an old lady who got a Porsche and decided to put her fucking 8-track radio in it.
Yep.
If she were like in this world, she would have an IBM Model M keyboard
Yes.
and like a proper trackball.
Clack 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 clack
Beautiful
clack
things.
clack. Yeah.
So, so she sends the data over, and you can see immediately that Governor Harmon, she almost kind of pulls her sari closer to herself, almost like a cold wind has pulled past. Looks to Murray, and Murray just runs his hand over his kind of bald scalp, takes a deep breath. You can see he's, age has made him into a bit of a wiry guy. But you can tell he used to be kind of muscular once, and cut a very kind of noble-looking figure, kind of cerebral. And he gives what I'd like to say is an almost imperceptible nod. It's just a subtle nod. Everybody sees it. And she says, "Come with me." Some of the soldiers from the walls of Silver Ridge, now that they don't have to worry about this ridiculously large mech, start putting kind of what is heavy hand weapon emplacements. What I guess in Star Wars Edge of the Empire would be the heavy repeating blaster on the wall. So a 3-person crew to put this big ass gun on a tripod, and they start setting up just in case there's going to be, again, aircraft or smaller mechs coming along, as they try to set up enough defenses. She kind of waves you away from the mechs and says, "Those are ready to go. If we get attacked, you'll know well in time." And calls you into the ship, because her quarters was the bridge of the ship that got taken off and put on the floor. Now it's back in place. So she calls you into the cargo bay. And you can see that a kind of war room has been set up in there, in what is probably like a cargo or logistics office. She sits you down and says, "Mary?" And the old guy turns around and says, "One of the missions that we were given here, other than the usual to get Cadavos to come into Union, was to investigate the ship that brought them here. The ship was designed by one of the predecessors of Harrison. They were trying to go for some sort of strange terraforming effort. We're not entirely sure what they succeeded in doing." What did you find?
Well,
And you can see he's pouring through the data as he's asking.
as you saw, there has been we found something peculiar in the soil, and whatever is in the soil, the Crucible is handing out freely in energy drinks. Whatever it is causing people who imbibe in this substance to go basically lose all self-control. They become rampaging berserkers without any thought for self-preservation and even less preservation of the target that they're.
What we
So
were afraid
the whole
of.
planet is biological warfare.
She gestures, and her comlink, which is around her hand, suddenly produces a Mass Effect style hologram in front of her hand. She chooses a few menus and then throws something at the wall. The screen lights up with what seems to be a video feed into a holding cell. and you can see that someone in there is smashing the wall with what are now the broken, kind of crushed bones sacks of fists. They've broken every bone in their hands and they're still punching the walls.
Yeah, that looks
two-
about right.
Two guards come in, shoot him with what is quite clearly stun weapons, and it takes about 6 shots to get this guy down. She
Now,
then kind of fast forwards it, and around about 2 hours later, the guy starts screaming in pain and crying, looking at his hands as if he didn't know what went on.
yes,
It's
that
now.
looks about right. The interesting thing is that while the Crucible is freely providing these, they're not letting the general populace know what it does. When people take this, they only think they think they're only taking some standard energy drink that will enhance their performance. They don't know that will quite literally lose their minds.
It's not
The
just that
people that we have managed to recover, well, the person.
it's not just
was-
energy drinks, I'm afraid.
No.
They place this active ingredient that you seem to have identified into a number of different things. We've managed to interrogate a bunch of people who had, first of all, came to us in peace, but then were trying to be saboteurs. Once we found out what they were doing, the feral attack seems to be a particular type of thing that they can indoctrinate them into. Other people are just simply compelled into a set of actions. Depending on the dose that they're given, they can be quite lucid, intelligent, deceiving. It's the very large doses that set them into this feral state. Although saying that, even feral creatures have a sense of self-preservation. These are completely subsumed by the orders that they are given.
Yet the person we managed to recover, they were quite distraught. They didn't seem to remember anything.
Yes. I believe it's the same mechanism that people have when they say they've seen red. They aren't quite sure what they did afterwards, or getting drunk to the point where they don't remember the night before. It's a part of each of us to be able to repress memories or completely delete them. I'm worried about this one. Apparently, the Crucible have said that they have started hearing the voice. Don't know what that means, but it seems that this act has coincided with hearing the voice.
Could it be that they're literally quite literally hearing the planet, as in this substance is making them hear things?
That was
Oh.
our first supposition as well, was that the voice is just variations upon the hallucinations of the drug, but we can't find any psychotropic effect that causes delusion.
What if... What if it's not delusion?
Then we need to know what this voice is. I presume that a mixture of drugs and hypnosis and zealotry means that the voice is probably some sort of engineered personality or faith figure that the people who are behind the Crucible have been using to manipulate the masses.
Was there any indication on this ship if it had an NHP or similar? Any kind of computer banks or anything?
That would just be lovely, wouldn't it?
Our researcher at the Crucible Temple that we sent you to, again, that was session 0, did find several NHP type entities, but that wasn't the only ship that came here. You know that Lucinda Moss, for example, occupies a similar ship, although I'm told that the entire drive system, all the NHPs and everything, were burnt out during the crash. Literally, it's just a hulk. But maybe there could be some clues that she contains there. I'm not sure. but elsewhere there would have been other ships, all from the same fleet. They all had the same fleet codes. They all had the same IDs, the same fleet ID.
The pilot, one of the pilots, Rifok, they started crying out for mother.
Yes, we heard. A rather strange thing for any pilot to ask for. I've never heard a combatant cry out for their mother in the field of battle. At which point Murray turns around and
We
says,
don't, I don't,
that's because you were never infantry. I heard plenty of people cry out for their mothers, usually when an explosive has taken a limb off, or crying for their mothers light years away from wherever their families might be.
Mother could have been a designation of someone else.
Maybe mother is central to the Crucible's religion.
The voice
Oh.
could be the voice of mother, who knows? Did you know that back in ancient Cradle, back when it was called Earth, there was a phrase, Mother Earth?
Hmm. Well, regardless, we can sit here and speculate all we want, but if I'm going to be completely honest, what I'm mostly concerned about is the safety of all of you people. So, how is the ship reparations going?
The ship's working well. Unfortunately, the two aggressive turrets that we had, we were still using on the walls. There's no point in salvaging them now. We're just going to leave them behind. All of the power that would normally have gone into our turrets, we're putting into the the ship's shield systems. That's allowing us to at least see off any of the. Oh, I'm getting
Echo.
echo from
Sorry.
Vic. It's allowed us to see off any pot shots that are taken at range. They've decided not to use many of the long-term siege weaponry that they, long-range siege weaponry that they'd otherwise go for. Being that if it hit outside of the ship, sure, it would cause some damage, but it doesn't damage the ship itself. The reason why they were sending that crazy energy-based thing in is that it would be able to cut its way into the hull, past the shields, and start wrecking the ship from the inside. I dare say they probably had some sort of detonation device that they wanted to drop there to make sure that the ship never made it back into space. They don't want to see us gone. I'm very clear on that. They want to see us dead.
Right. That is quite clear.
The good news is that give us 24 hours, the ship will be done and we will be gone.
That's
and
good
by
to hear.
done, I mean the ship will be ready for us to fly for light years if we need to. Now, the only problem is that we need to be ready for those 24 hours. But we also have a few missions that we need to sort out. First of all, there is a battalion of swamp tanks coming this way. Now, I would ordinarily say that this is not a problem, but without our turrets, we can't take them out. If they end up firing pot shots over our walls and get wise to the fact that they can't damage the ship, they'll damage everything else.
How far away are these tanks?
About 20 clicks. The tanks aren't fast, but they will get here in the next few hours. You have enough time to rest. But after that, they'll be here.
Understand, just if possible, I would really like to avoid another having to jump through half the planet just to avoid a catastrophic scenario, if you will.
I doubt you're going to be in that situation again. Your one and only objective is to make sure that this bird gets into the air and out into space. Everything else is secondary.
We'll see to that.
The second, I mentioned Lucinda Moss before. She's scared. She's scared because she defied the Crucible before realizing how much power they had. Now, even with her settlement in the center of this giant space hulk, she's afraid that they're going to end up penetrating her walls and making an example of her. As such, when we can, I suggest that we go and make a friend of hers if only just to have somebody that we can communicate to in Kedebos, so that we can continue getting information even as we leave. The third is an old friend, the researcher that you took out to the Crucible Temple. Unfortunately, there are troops that are starting to get closer to his position. I would like him evacuated and his research, and I do not want the research destroyed. I think it's going to be pivotal to find out what's going on out here. Those are the three major concerns I have at the moment. If you can stop my people outside being killed, gain us an ally in leaving, and then get the research, I think we'll have everything we need to provide for Union, the main Union forces, to come back and help what allies we do have here.
Okay.
I'm sure that will be invaluable. We will see to it.
Finally, I fear for the people of Kedebos. Even though our progress was slow, we were getting progress. We have already changed the lives of so many here in Kedebos. They're starting to see how Union can work for them. They've started to see that we do not seek to oppress, but to give them the tools of a new freedom, a freedom and representation that they can use. If we can, I would like to weaken the Crucible so that they don't have the hold on this planet that they previously had. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
But that's the cherry on top. I believe that because of those who did help us, those who did warn us that this attack was coming, otherwise we would have been dead if we hadn't had the head start that we had. I fear for their lives. And I believe that your creed as the Iron Wall compels you to help those as well, even once we are out of range.
Absolutely.
That is true.
They've been largely victims.
I'm not one to question your creed, but I do feel like that last goal, you may have bitten off a little more than you can chew. As for this chemical, I can confirm a few things. In fact, I'm very impressed, not to belittle pilots like yourselves, but
No, let's
you've
be honest.
illuminated this.
About 70% of us are morons.
You can see, even with her ambassador skills, she chokes back a smile.
A
says-
smiling, which is rare for Red. She says, "Way to escort us to underneath the bus, Goggles."
I'm not the one who chooses to overheat my mech.
Ooh, shade being thrown here.
You're size half, I'm size 2. Just bear that in mind.
Yeah, but you can't see me, can you?
Setting up for the Battle Royale episode. So she says, okay, Mary's correct. We were sent extra orders here. We wanted to bring Kedebos in because it was so different, so atypical. And also because the way they work here, that ain't healthy. But we were given another order. We believe that this planet may actually be an experiment. We believe that it was terraformed very early on. And that's why this forced culture of not being able to talk to each other, to cooperate with each other. Otherwise, they would have realized what was going on here. There's an element, a factor, a mechanism, call it what you will, a form of metabolic dynamic, I don't know, that is making this substance occur on the planet. And yet, I can tell you, based on the research that we've had, the planet's only been producing this substance in great numbers, in greater concentration, in the last year or so. Some sort of catalyst has been set loose. And for something so advanced, to use the ecology of a planet to generate an otherwise synthetic chemical boggles the mind. It can't be coincidence that this catalyst, this whatever the trigger was triggered accidentally, but has some other sinister motive behind it. I can only assume that the Crucible have obtained information on how to use this technology.
Quite hypocritical of them, isn't it?
Indeed. But then, how many religions in our own history have started off with the greatest of intentions and yet simply been a magnet for those who wish to rule, oppress, and manipulate? The Crucible seemed like union, I suppose. Such a wonderful ideal, an eco-religion, the only belief to look after one's planet. And yet it's been twisted to such vile ends. This is a lesson that we need to learn and keep mindful of as we rebuild union. Anyway, get your rest. Go check out your mechs and make sure that they are up to speed with all your settings and configurations. Work starts in earnest in 8 hours' time.
I have one more question, if I may.
Of course.
Are we sure that whoever piloted these mechs outside?
Are we sure what?
Are we sure that whoever piloted those mechs outside, that they were entirely human?
Ah, you're referring to the helmets. She nods to Murray, and he walks out, comes back a few minutes later with the charred helmet. And you can see that there's quite clearly an organic neck coming out the bottom of the helmet.
Well, that is terrifying. But
He takes out a tool, like a drill driver, and very noisily unbolts the helmet. Turns out that's the only way to get it off. You can't pull this helmet off. You have to literally
Jesus Christ.
opens the helmet. Sure enough, a very human face. You think female, by the looks of it, early 40s. One of the kind of quite muscular, hard-working swamp folk that you have seen everywhere. Very typical short hair, no nonsense. Yeah, if you like a bit of muscle, quite handsome. Hell of a shame. The eyes seem bloodshot from the glare of what would have been HUD screens directly in front of the eyes.
I
Murray
only
says-
can't emote. Well, not really. But there's like a profound aura of sadness to them right now. Well, that answers my question. Thank you.
I'm told that the signal that comes in, texture is taken away and instead is more of a wireframe. So you can't see what's in front of you other than good target, bad target, rough shape. There are also video feeds that go in there, but the video feeds are not of the surroundings, but video feeds of Crucible briefings, what we would call propaganda. Various other news feeds. This seems to be that they own all of the senses of the pilot. It also has a very dedicated neural link to the mech. It increases the link between man and machine. That and this chemical, which does the same thing, means that the mech pilots, even if they aren't seasoned like yourselves, they have the training. They don't have the training of the Iron Horde.
Red looks uncomfortable.
They move so fluidly and so quickly that it makes up for their lack of training to a certain degree. We have a feeling that they all have infantry training, but not mech training. And they're producing these mechs quickly.
This looks like Smith Shimano tech.
There's elements of it, certainly.
have to remember, all of this tech we've been going against seems to be old models and stuff.
No,
Not
that's
this
true.
stuff. This
I was
stuff
going to say.
has elements of Horus, elements of Shimano,
If
elements
any-
of Harrison Armory, and yet it reminds me of an island back on Cradle. They called it Galapagos, a place that was so separated from the rest of the world that the creatures there evolved through a different line. It's almost as if these have elements of the designs that we are familiar with. They just seem to be parallel versions of those philosophies.
Red goes, takes a deep breath. Well, this was been enlightening. Like you said, we depart in 8 hours, so I'm gonna make sure my equipment is up to snuff. If you'll excuse me, and I'm just leaving. She's trying to hide it, but there's probably something about the mention of real new Smith Shimano tech that kind of rubbed her the wrong way, like very badly. She's just taking her leave and she's going back to the mech hangar.
Iona sort of lags behind, just they are staring at the head. Just thoughtful, but if they could emote, if they had a face with muscles, they would be like decidedly mournful.
And with that, you're given access to resources, information. The Castrals get refueled. New modules are printed off and placed inside them, ready for the next leg of this journey. Silver Ridge, thankfully, has been saved in the 11th hour by what would have almost certainly been almost a suicide attack by the evangelist. You get ready. You are confident that the refueled Castrals now will inform you of any threat coming in. But there's a lot to do before you leave the planet yet. And with that, we're going to end the session. So a huge thank you to everybody in chat, to our guys playing here. Fantastic to see everybody in chat participating and starting to use some of the commands that we had. I have a feeling I should have held on to that Skyhook one an extra week, but hey, what can I say? What can I say? Chaos ensues.
It came in clutch, yeah.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, big thank you. The largest role-playing game that I've ever run at one point had 12 players, and it was Werewolf the Forsaken. I said I'd
Jesus
never do
Christ.
that again. and yet we've had what 4 main players and about 6 to 7 people
true.
RPing in chat.
Yeah.
And I've loved every second of it. So big thank you for that. We are still learning. We're still experimenting with making sure that there's as much RP in chat as there is on the screen. But I think we're always going in the right direction with this. And there's lots of different flavors and ways to configure it. We are going to raid as usual. And I would like to follow on from a raid that I did last time. I raided Raven last time, a wonderful cosplayer that we had the pleasure of meeting in one of the cons. And I have said that I will get them onto one of our one-shots or something at some point because they're lovely people. We are going to be raiding Artcore Cosplay. So we're going to be running along that line for a little while. And they're currently playing Hades, which I must admit, I've been wanting to, I've been wanting to take a look at that game because I've been told that I might lose some hours if I start playing it. So yeah, we're going to go and jump in on that. I hope that everybody's had a wonderful weekend and that you're going to have a great week ahead. As usual, we have got quite a bit of a lineup. So on Monday, we have Ed, 8 till 11 UK time, playing Numenera Odyssey. And I'm loving some of the characters that are coming up in there, and also some of the things that the guys are saying in chat about them as well. So you've got some real endearing NPCs going on. Ed.
I get to
Loving that.
practice my accent work. My
Hell yeah.
slightly accent work.
Yeah, it's the whole kind of, I've gone northern. Yeah.
It happens a lot.
It happens to me. Don't worry about it. There's some accents that I know are safe, and there's ones that I just really can't get to.
That's completely fair.
Then on Tuesday, Rodrigo is going to be running Blades in the Dark, where Rodrigo gets the chance to get their revenge on me. It doesn't matter how tough I'm being in Lancer, I'm in the shit. For Blades in the Dark.
To be
I am
fair,
in so much shit.
to be fair, at least last session was not your fault.
Oh, I must admit, I've always loved Kat as a role player. But the moment that they decided, let's get rid of my nemesis, bang, and executioner style, I was like, oh, we're in trouble. We're probably in less trouble than we were a few seconds ago, but we're still in lots of trouble. So yeah, if you don't know about that, we have started a war with, I think, the most powerful factions in the city and pissed off 3 more. So that's going to be interesting. And then on Friday night, we're going to be returning to the Benefactor as we finally get in to take down the Witch Queen. The flying carpet is coming down to the Witch Queen's abode with all the dangers of the legacy. So we're going to see what happens there. But have a great week. Say hi to the guys at Artcore Cosplay, when I say it correctly. And we will see you soon. Take care of him.
Take care, very
Yeah,
much.
Bye.
Have a lovely weekend.